we all know that actions have consequences. And sometimes the greatest accomplishments are made by one small decision at a time, because decisions, they compound over time. And so in the last couple of videos, I've been talking about how we need to look at the example of Jesus and look at how Jesus grew. And we've been looking at Luke 2:52. Luke 2:52 says that Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. And in my last video, we talked about how he grew in wisdom. And I talked about how that we need to look at Jesus' example and we need to grow in wisdom. And in this video, what I want to talk about is growing in stature, because it also, Luke 2:52 said, that tells us that Jesus grew in stature. Now, the word stature has a literal physical meaning. It means that Jesus grew up. You know, he grew up in his body. He grew from a boy to a man. And so we already know that stature of the physical stature. But stature also refers to a person's reputation or their character. And so there was a quote by the famous UCLA basketball coach, Coach John Wooden. He said that the true test of a person's character is what they do when no one's watching. And so then my next question is, so how is character developed? Well, I would say that character is developed one choice at a time. Character is developed one decision at a time. And so if our character is what we do, then we got to recognize, and if our character is determined by our decisions and our choices, then that means that we got to do a better job of recognizing the importance of our daily decisions. Now, like I said, you have to realize that your daily decisions are important. And I think that's the difference between immaturity and maturity, is when you recognize and when you realize just how important your decisions are. When you're not that mature, when you have an immature mind, you don't really recognize the importance and the magnitude of the choices that you make, because we've all done it. I know I've done it. When you're young, you just make decisions and you don't really recognize the ramifications of the choices that you're making, right? And that's why if I talk to any young person, I would tell them, listen, you're not going to be young forever. And so you need to realize that whatever choices that you're making now could impact your future. As a matter of fact, the choices that you make today will impact your future. And so you got to be mindful of that. I know you want to have fun. I know it's, you think you're young, but hey, you're not going to be young forever. You're going to get older. And when you get older, the older you are going to be living off of the choices and the decisions that the younger you made. And so with that, you want to make sure you make wise decisions, make wise choices. And so, but here's the problem. Here's the problem when you don't make wise choices, when you don't make good decisions. Here's the problem when you have bad decision making. Because when you have bad decisions, or when you make bad decisions, it leads to so many problems, so many negative outcomes. And so I want to give you, matter of fact, I want to give you 10 problems that happen when you make bad decisions. 10 problems that come from bad decision making. You ready? I'm gonna give you 10 problems. Number one is this. Number one is regret and guilt. You often experience regret and guilt when you make poor choices. These emotions can weigh heavily on you, and they can weigh heavily on your mind, and they affect your well-being. And so regret and guilt is number one. Number two is missed opportunities. Yeah, missed opportunities. Bad decisions can cause you to miss valuable opportunities. I know I missed a lot of opportunities myself with bad decisions, because your bad choices limit your potential. Whether it's a missed job opportunity or a failed investment or a failed personal relationship. Number three, financial loss. Making ill-informed financial decisions can result in loss. For instance, investing in some risky venture without doing the proper research on that can leave you in a bad situation. Also, overspending, spending money that you really don't have, can lead to financial trouble. And so that comes from bad decision making. Number four, health consequences. Bad health decisions, such as neglecting exercise, poor eating habits, substance abuse, can all these things have a long-term effect on your health. And so these choices impact your physical and your mental well-being. Number 5, damage relationships. Poor decisions can strain your relationships with your family, with your friends, with people that you work with. And so, because what happens is trust is broken, and when you try, and it's hard to repair these connections because it becomes a challenge because you make bad decisions. Number 6, stress and anxiety. The aftermath of bad decisions can lead to stress and anxiety because what ends up happening is you worrying about the consequences, and that can take a toll on your mental health. Number 7, damage reputation. Certain decisions can tarnish your reputation. Certain things, that one decision can just mess you up. And definitely in today's society, to where we live in this cancel culture, if you do the wrong thing, people will cancel you. I don't believe in cancel culture, but that is one of the consequences of making bad decisions. And so whether you make a public mistake or you have some unethical behavior, your actions can affect how other people perceive you, right? Number 8, career setbacks. Bad decisions can hinder your growth in your professional life. Poor judgment, it leads to missed deadlines or choosing the wrong project to work on. All these things can impact your professional life. Number 9, legal issues. Some decisions may have legal repercussions. Like if you do the wrong thing, if you make a bad decision, you can end up in jail. You can go to jail. There's plenty of people in jail right now because they made a bad decision, and you're in jail. Even if you're not an overall bad person, like even if you're not, some people are career criminals, right? They always go to jail. But even if you're not a career criminal, you can make one bad decision and you end up in jail. And so that's the thing. And then the last but not least, number 10, emotional turmoil. Bad decisions can cause all types of emotional turmoil in your mind and in your body. And this will affect your overall quality of life. Now, if you've had any of those problems because of your bad decision, and I know I've had a couple of those, because of your bad decisions, then that's what I want to talk about today.